big fine to myself, man. I start the show out like that. Sheesh. So yeah, what I was saying anyway. Like I said, big fine to myself. Uh, right, Righty Sports Group. Thanks for tapping in. Not Big G, your boy Tate. Shout out to the homie Big G though. Oh, you talking to Big G? Because Big G is in the chat already. What up, G? What up, man? Hey, did you send your picks in, man, for the Pick'em show in about 20 minutes or so? Send them to us, man, if you haven't already. I don't remember you doing that. Claude in the building. What up, Claude? What up, man? What up, fellas? Thanks for tapping in. Like I said, I thought what I was saying before I had to find myself, right? Typically do this on Wednesday at noon. Some family stuff came up yesterday. I was dealing with that and completely forgot about this show yesterday at noon. Ma texted me and said, "Where you at, man?" I said, "Oh, I completely forgot. Just got done with a whole bunch of family stuff. Hung up. It's about 10 after 12. I said, I completely forgot. So I rescheduled that show for today. My 901 homie from down in Tennessee, Bartlett, Tennessee to be specific. My boy Reg Rivers in the building, 901. Shout out Reg. Thanks for tapping in, man. And we're going to be brief today, right? Because we're going to jump on over to the KnoItAllz Weekly Pick'em Show here right at high noon, the big noon Pick'em Show. Big G is in the building now, but Big G is at work. I don't know if he'll be joining us, but he'll send his picks in. I'll have the scoreboard, update you guys, and hate to say it, I'm going to just tell y'all this, and y'all know who I'm talking about without me calling nobody out. You decide for yourself who to know it all that knows the most, right? I mean, I like to think it's me, but I'm not saying that it is. But I tell you one thing. The know-it-all that's in last place in the pick'em so far through going into week 16 is the know-it-all that talks the most. Now, y'all figure that one out. I won't tell you, but if you tune in to our noon pick'em show, you'll see the scoreboard and you know who I'm talking about. Could be me, if you think I talk the most. Could be G, if you think he talks the most. Could be Mod, if you think he talks the most. But yeah, so we're going to tap into that. But right now, I'm here just to talk about, we talked about last night on Pump Your Brakes and Smash the Gas. Combination of things, right? We talked about the Steelers win in Miami, against Miami in Pittsburgh Monday night, a dominant win. They look good. We had our homie June from the Bleacher Speakers Detroit Lions podcast, FFSN, on the show with us, talking about from the Lions perspective. We got into the football of it all as far as the matchups and things like that. Actually, it was a fun show. Go back and check out the Pump Your Brakes or the Smash the Gas or both. Go hit those shows with a like. We certainly appreciate it. But we talked about this game coming up. Like I said, we talked about last game. So last game, we played the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have won 4 in a row. People keep moving the goalposts, right? I mean, some of yins out there move the goalposts. You know, going into the game against Miami, Miami had won 4 straight, 5 out of 6. They started 1-6. They came into the Steelers game 6-7. Had been running the ball with the best efficiency and at the highest rate of almost any team in the league coming into the game Monday night. We know the Steelers' run defense has been bad, inconsistent at best all year. Derek Harmon didn't play. We know when Derek Harmon don't play, they get skinned alive. They get big BTA'd all the time when Derek Harmon don't play. Steelers play well. Steelers have been inconsistent. Like a lot of, it's been 8-6, 14 games. You know the Steelers have been in the lead at halftime in 11 of 14 games. 11 of 14 games. We seem to fall apart. The offense sometimes gets inefficient. The defense is on the field too long. I think them boys get tired. They get out of their gaps and zones, responsibilities and stuff. We've been giving up the run. So this show is about my thoughts on Miami being an ideal opponent to have played prior to playing Detroit. Because when you think about it, the Miami Dolphins offense is predicated off some of the same things the Detroit Lions offense is predicated off of, right? A run zone scheme. Quarterbacks aren't mobile but are accurate passers in the intermediate game. You got a really good wide receiver. In the Dolphins' case, they got Jalen Waddle. They got Tyreek Hill was hurt for the year, obviously, but typically they have two very good receivers. The Detroit Lions have as coined last night by Big G, Baby Hines Ward in the building with Amon-Ra St. Brown, who I think is, man, I think he's that dude top 5 receiver, man, right? And they got a top 5 running back too, Jahmyr Gibbs. And they got a pocket passing quarterback. So schematically, they do a lot of RPOs, but you know the quarterback's not a threat to run. But that's because they run the stretch zone, right? They do the RPO to get the quarterback the pass run, not run himself, give it to the running back choice to try and bring that defensive edge, make him commit one way or the other. Then that's what dictates what the play will be, whether it be pass or run. Jahmyr Gibbs, one of the top running backs in the league. Achane for the Dolphins is one of the better running backs too. They're very similar. I think Jahmyr Gibbs has more shake. I think Jahmyr Gibbs plays with better offensive talent as a collective. So he appears to be more, not explosive, but he just has better production, right? He plays for Detroit Lions, who've been a good team for the past 4 or 5 years, compared to the Miami Dolphins, who've not been so good the past 4 or 5 years. But conceptually, kind of some of the same stuff, right? Shout out to the homie, what up? Thanks for tapping in. But, as I was saying, they want to do some of the same things. So that game against the Dolphins was big. The Steelers, their first series, they gave up a 12-yard run to Achane, got hit with some play-action pass, and they settled down. After the first down, they got them 3 and out. And after that, the defense kind of settled down. The Dolphins had some intermediate pass plays. The Steelers had held Achane to 60 yards rushing, but I believe that was only like on about 12 or 13 attempts. The Dolphins kind of banned the run. That's one thing I don't think Detroit will do, because they have Jahmyr Gibbs, a.k.a. Sonic, but they also got that other back in the backfield, Montgomery, known as Knuckle Up. Yeah, Montgomery back there. So, it's a combination thing. Is that they actually have a running back by committee, though Jahmyr Gibbs is the most explosive one. He has the most touchdowns in the NFL history before the age of 24. I believe that number is like about 47 or 48. Just recently passed Lion legend Barry Sanders for the most touchdowns before 24 years old. So dude's a beast. I do know how I see it. The Steelers need to primarily focus on stopping the run. We were able to stop the run against the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. Even though we lost the game against Green Bay, we stopped John Jacobs. We held Derrick Henry to 90 yards, but that Baltimore game was kind of different. So we have had games where we stopped elite running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs is definitely elite. So we have we have a big task ahead of us. I think it's one the defense can focus on. We'll be doing this definitely without Nick Herbig, probably without TJ Watt. There's no news. The news could come today. Not sure. I'm not expecting TJ to play. But we get Derek Harmon back. I think that's a big deal. From a matchup perspective for the defense, because I think it really comes down to the defense. I think this game will be played. I think both teams, the Steelers have to focus on stopping the Lions' run. The Steelers put a lot of bad tape out there in the run game, few good games, but I think they're capable. They actually will have a really good run, on the field with the additions of rookie Y.A. Black, Jack Sawyer. We know Alex Highsmith against the run. Cam is great against the run. I'm expecting big gains from the linebackers. I think Harrison will play a factor, but really looking for big gains from Queen and Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson may get some snaps at edge. I think with the potential absence of Herbig and TJ Watt, I think you will see Wilson in there with Queen and Harrison as like just that third line, that 3-5 linebacker package with Highsmith, Sawyer. I think they'll throw Wilson in there also with Queen and Harrison, because Wilson can line up on the edge. He played some of that at North Carolina State. He really was a chess piece at North Carolina State. He has the potential to be that here in Pittsburgh still. He kind of is. He can cover. The Lions like to throw a lot of passes out the backfield to Jahmyr Gibbs. He gets a lot of his work, eats a lot off his plate when they're in the Lions short intermediate passing game. Jared Goff is the second fastest release from drop back to release in the league. Second fastest. The first fastest was Tua. I believe Jared Goff is like 2.46 to pass. Once the snap and drops back, 2.46 seconds. Tua is slightly faster than that. But think about how the Miami Dolphins offense work, which is why I compare it to what the Detroit Lions want to do. The third fastest drop back to pass quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. So, man, we got three immobile guys, really not that mobile, that like to get rid of the ball quick. So, per talking to June last night from Bleachers to Speakers, Detroit Lions Fans First Sports Network podcast, we talked about what the Lions need to play against. And he informed us, myself, Big G, and Shannon, Triple OG, that we need to the Lions need to focus on preventing pressure up the middle in Jared Goff's face. So that's what we need to try and do. That's why I expect a lot from Queen and Wilson. I think the Steelers send a lot of A-gap pressure right up the middle, a lot of stunts. Jared Goff is known to have happy feet. So I think if we get to him, stop the run, make Goff beat you, but put pressure on Goff at the same time, the Steelers actually have a good chance to win this game. Offensively, I think the Steelers attack via the air. Detroit is really good at stopping the run. I believe there might maybe be top 10 in the league. My numbers could be off, but they're better at stopping the run than they are to pass. They got a lot of injuries in the secondary. First-round pick from 2024, Terrion Arnold out of Alabama. Their number one corner is down. Their Pro Bowl safety, Brian Branch, is out. Detroit is kind of thin in the secondary. I think the Steelers need to try and attack that. They need to look at the middle of the field again like they did last week. Coach Tomlin and other people in the Steelers sphere. Shout out Afton. Thanks for tapping in real quick. The homie Afton in the building. But yeah, it's game to game, right? Game plans are game to game. So to me, if Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith adhere to that train of thought as far as game planning philosophically, they'll want to attack the Lions through the air. Don't mean you're banning the run, because I think it's key that Dwayne McNair, shout out, homie. What's up, man? Thanks for tapping in. The homie D McNair in the building. But yeah, I think it's key that you attack where the defense is weakest at, right? Now, it don't mean you abandon the run, but I think it'll be a lot of stuff available, a lot of play action. Kenneth Gainwell has been a really, really good, I won't say surprise. I knew he was a good player. Like Mike Tomlin said in his press conference earlier in the week, Gainwell was just behind Saquon Barkley. We know Saquon Barkley different. You get him behind a running back like Jalen Warren, and I like Jalen Warren a lot. Jalen Warren is good, but Gainwell can get more touches though, because Jalen Warren not Saquon Barkley. But I think we're gonna see Jalen Warren, I believe, is a better inside runner. Though Kenneth KG holds his own too, though. But I think Aaron Rodgers likes KG because Kenneth Gainwell played some receiver in college at Memphis, played some running back. He's versatile. His route tree is really good. He understands choice route concepts. He's Aaron Rodgers' security blanket, so he's typically available. That's why he had seven receptions in the last game. I like what Jalen Warren brings. I think the tight ends will be a factor. I think the Lions, being with a depleted secondary, I think it's mandatory they try and take DK Metcalf out of the game. I think that's a real thing. But since the additions to the roster anyway, Adam Thielen, MVS, the Steelers are 2-0 since those guys have been starters. I think Aaron Rodgers just likes guys. Not that Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin is good. Not his experience. So Aaron Rodgers was more about the detail more than about the actual playmaker. Like he's a savant, really, on the football field. Kept in the line of scrimmage. I feel good every time, and he always bleeds the play clock all the way down. I like that. I like him assessing the defense, making changes and stuff like that. I'm a fan of that type of quarterback play because that's above the net quarterback play, right? That's cerebral. That's what Aaron Rodgers is getting in. So I like to see him do that. Offensively, I think the Steelers want to try and control the time of possession again because you want to keep the explosives from the Lions off the field. You want to keep Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Didn't you mention J-Mo, Jameson Williams, speedy wide receiver on the outside for Detroit, Laporta the tight end. The Lions have some weapons. So we've been official to the Steelers to try and stop and prevent the Lions from getting the football, right? So try and hold on to that time possession. I think that's really big in this game. That's a key. That's one of my keys. You do that by the short to intermediate passing game. Got to use the middle of the field. I expect a big game for Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Washington will obviously be involved just to set the tone. He kind of like not like a running back and running the ball, but like a receiver, an intermediate to short passing game receiver that sets the tone from a physicality standpoint. He's going to run the ball. He's going to punish defenders, run them over. And some of those backup defenders in the secondary of the Lions, not going to look forward to tackling that guy. But, you got to try and bring him to the ground, so they're going to have to do it. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it. I think we can probably stop Detroit on a fourth down or two. I think their overly aggressiveness can be a deterrent. This game can actually cost them if Dan Campbell messes around and gambles too much. We got two philosophically drastically different coaches here. We got Dan Campbell, Kenny Rogers, if you're old enough to remember the movie The Gambler. That's Dan Campbell. Mike Tomlin is what's the movie with Denzel Washington, the dude Esquire? I forgot it's for Raphael Esquire, just real kind of low key, kind of nerdy kind of dude, kind of play it safe. But I tell you what, even if you remember the movie Along Came Polly, Ben Stiller's character, he was super safe. It's Mike Tomlin typically. Mike Tomlin got a little bit out of character, I think. Aaron Rodgers has rubbed off him a little bit as far as willing to take some of these chances the Steelers haven't typically taken. I think we see some more of that, some more aggressiveness from the Steelers. I'm looking forward to that aspect of the game too, to see what happens. Looking forward to a really, really good competitive game. The Lions are 8-6. The Steelers are 8-6. And the Lions are fighting for the playoff life. The Steelers are fighting for a division championship. If they don't win a division, they're going to be out of the playoffs potentially because a team from the AFC North is not going to get a wild card. It's not going to happen. So they have to not hang on. Let's look good these last few games and take this division and go ahead and get a W Sunday against the Lions, 4:25, Henry Ford Field, Detroit. It's the 3-1-3 boys. Detroit gets the 4-1-2 boys, Pittsburgh. We're going to get it in. It's going to be a big game. Let's get that win. Get on the bus, get home, and watch the Ravens and the Patriots play Sunday night. And let's root for the New England Patriots after we get our W. Let's go ahead and take care of that. We're about to get on over here to the Big Noon Pick'em Show. That'll be with me and Mod. Maybe Big G show up. It's a pleasant surprise, but we're going to get on over here right now in the next couple of minutes. About to head over there as soon as I get out of here. We're going to pick the week's games. I'm going to show you the scoreboard. Remember, the know-it-all that you feel like talks the most might be the know-it-all in last place. But we'll see on next show. But, man, certainly thanks for tapping in to listen to my take on what I think this game is going to be this week. Everybody in the comments, in the live chat, fam, thanks. Afton, D. McNair, Reg Rivers, my boy 901, Claude, I ain't even gonna call Claude Matrix Man no more, man. Don't mean he lost his appointment in the government of the Matrix, but Claude been kind of chill the past month, Claude. He's been chill the past month. Since Penn State been gone, you really ain't had a whole bunch to say. So you kind of been quiet. And the Steelers have won a couple games, so you ain't had much to gripe about. So yeah, shout out to the homie Claude. Certainly appreciate him. Tonight, we got the big noon show coming up right now. Tonight, myself and my Jag 2G homies, we're going to talk about inside the mind of a genius misunderstood. We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving and Kanye West to start off, but we'll transition to other stuff. I think we can get some AB in there. Not saying AB, Antonio Brown, is a genius, but it's a lot of complicated individuals that play sports. There's kind of eccentric. Let's use that word, eccentric. But nonetheless, great at their games, good in business. Some of them went on to politics, stuff like that. We'll talk about some of those guys tonight on that show. So, man, thanks for being with me right now. About to get on over to the Big Noon Pick'em with my boy Mod until next week. And next week, I may not do this show. I may, because in the afternoon, we plan on doing Christmas Eve anyway, which that was a week from last night. We'll be doing our evening shows in the daytime around this time, around lunchtime. We'll do the Pump Your Brakes I believe we'll do that show at noon. At noon next week. The Pump Your Brakes for next week. And that one will be the Christmas Eve edition. We're gonna share our Steeler wish list. And the homies Achane and Curb are joining that show too. That's next Wednesday. Pump Your Brakes. They're not gonna be at 8 o'clock at night. It's gonna be at noon on the KnoItAllz channel and the Steel Curtain Network. Be sure to check it out. And then after that, we'll go into myself, Achane and Kirby, will go into the Smash the Gas podcast. We're doing that early too, right after Pump Your Brakes. Typically, you smash the gas, then you pump your brakes, but we're going to pump our brakes, then let it go for the holiday, for New Year, for Christmas Eve. We're going to say what we want out there. We're going to talk about the Browns game. And I got to have game, no matter what happens Sunday, we got to have this one against the Browns. So we'll talk about that. Next Monday coming up, Big G will be back with his Level Up College Football podcast, talking about the first round of the college football playoffs, which begins tomorrow night with the Alabama-Oklahoma matchup. Check that out. It's going to get into the transfer portal, opening up. That's Monday. But then Sunday, we got our 2-minute warning post-game show. Tap in with about a little before the 2-minute warning. We'll be there, myself, Afton, Big G, and Curb, to break down the game. So tap into that one. And, man, about to jump on over here to the Big Noon Pick'em. I'm a little late, but, I'm here. I'm not like I'm late. I'm here where I'm going to be. Just got to get over there, get in that studio, close this one. So thanks for tapping in, y'all. Certainly appreciate you. Until next time, which would be not in a long time, we out. It's your boy Tate. Peace.
Let's go.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here.